Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing a little bit of a tentative subject in regards to these alleged children of Harry and Meghan's. As most of you know, I talk about this in various videos, but I want to do a little bit of an in-depth discussion in some of the things that have been suggested to me in regards to Lili. And some of the things that I've also found out. So this is not, if you are interested in this, this is not a video to miss, because I think that there's going to be some interesting revelations, should I say. So if you want to join me in this video, you should know what to do by now, and you can skip this part if you do not want to listen to it, but you can grab your drink of choice, whatever that may be, and drop it in the comments what you were enjoying, sitting back, relaxing and watching this video with today. Or you can add a little something to that drink of choice, because it is December, and as the flag says behind me, it's a little bit blurry because I think I've changed the focus on my video, but it does actually say it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So grab your drink and let's dive right in. So in doing these videos over the last sort of couple of years, where my channel was taken off a lot more than what it was originally, one of the things I have said from the very beginning, even when I was doing a channel with somebody else, that I do not believe that we are being told the truth around these children. Now, normally I would not talk about children due to the fact that, well, they're children, and I feel that it's a no-go area in some, well, in a lot of circumstances. However, when you have two supposed children that are meant to be royal children, that are on the royal website, that we are being told, even though they are far down, that they are in the line of succession, I do believe, especially being from the UK, that we have a right to understand and know what is going on. And especially when you have two people that have been so secretive about their children with no real reason as to why, if you're looking at it from the normal perspective. I would say most, if not all, parents are usually proud of showing off their children. Even, you know, we only have to look at some of the most famous celebrities. You know, they enjoy being out as a family, being part of that. And we've also seen the Wales children being out and about, and we see them as a lovely family. We have seen other royal children, well, I certainly have, grow up in the limelight. I've been around since Harry and Meghan were born, so I've seen that. So obviously Harry met Meghan, and we've had the drama that has surrounded their relationship. And my interest was piqued when I saw the engagement interview. When I watched that interview, and as if you haven't seen the video on that, go and watch that, because it does show a lot of what I have seen and what a lot of other people believe, is that they're lying. And there is something that's going on, and they are feeling the need to be very dishonest about their relationship. Then we fast forward a bit to the wedding, same thing. If you haven't seen the wedding video of Harry and Meghan, then again, go and watch that, because it does reveal some things. And so the way I view this is, when you have two people that are okay in coming out and publicly lying, and this is before anything else has happened, that shows you their character. It shows you that if they're willing to come out publicly and barefaced lie about something and be comfortable to do so, then that sets the precedent for the fact they're going to lie about other things. And what I have said from the beginning is that I absolutely believe 99.9% that they're lying about these children. I have said that I believe Archie is a child that is around. I do not believe he is living with them. I believe he is here in the UK. I have said that I believe, because these are my opinions, based on what I understand about narcissism, what I understand about Harry and Meghan's relationship, and then what I understand and see for myself in the fact that I don't believe she was pregnant. And people have said to me, but what about the child that was with Desmond Tutu? I believe that potentially was the real Archie. And the reason why I say this is because I do not believe that someone like Desmond Tutu would be involved in some kind of farce. Now, people have said that this child looks like Meghan because the child has a lazy eye. But if you look at Harry, the child, to me, does look like Harry. So I am of the belief that this particular child is Harry's child, which is why Meghan always looks awkward. However, there's been situations where I do believe they have not brought out a real child to show, being the one where they present the child 2 weeks after allegedly this child was born. I don't believe that was a real child. The pap walk that she did in Canada, that was absolutely not a real child, because you can tell by the weight of the harness that she was holding the child in. It was weightless. The child's leg was flopping around. So this was not a real child. I absolutely believe that she did that because Harry was in the UK at the time and she had duper's delight on her face. And so I think that this was a threat to the royal family of, I'm going to expose, because it's for anyone that's got eyes can see that she was not carrying a real child. So what that would draw into question is anyone that was doing their job properly at the time, any journalist, why did they not pick up? Why did they not pick up on this? Why did they not pick, crying out loud, why did they not pick up on the fact that she was not carrying a child? You could see that she wasn't. And so that says to me, though, where the children are a no-go area. And if that's the case, then there's a reason for that, because we don't have the same thing with the Wales's children or anyone else. So this tells me that something that people know, but I think that she did that as a veiled threat to, I'm going to keep doing stuff like this unless you do what I say, basically. So, of course, then Harry hot-footed it over to Canada, and I'm probably guessing that they probably said, you need to go, you need to sort this out and kind of put this, stop her from doing this. So I believe that Archie stayed behind, and I have a feeling that Archie is either, people have said that they believe Archie was a surrogate, potentially, don't know, but whichever, so Archie would have stayed with the surrogate mother, or what I'm inclined to believe is that Harry did possibly get somebody pregnant, and this is the child. Now, the reason why I believe that Harry and Meghan went to Canada or left the UK wasn't because of this Megxit of they need privacy. I think because the truth was going to come out about Archie, so they needed to find a way to create something that would stop that from happening. And it's easy to go to another country and then pretend to keep your children private. And it's very possible that when Harry comes over to the UK, that he does maybe go and see this child, and we're just not told about it. So I don't know. And these are just things that I'm plucking because I'm trying to understand what could be potentially going on. And I will do more about Archie. This is more about Lili. So fast forward to Lili, I think what happened here was that Meghan learned the mistakes that she was making in regards to the fake pregnancy with Archie. So because she's got away with it once, I would say that she tried again, but this time she was probably going for an adoption and she wanted a blonde girl. And I think potentially because she wanted almost like a Diana lookalike, in a sense, like she wanted to kind of have a blonde girl, blue eyes. And from what I've heard from things that have been sent to me, that there was an adoption that was going ahead. However, there was problems being in the relationship with the mother and Meghan. There was a child born around this time. But something happened, and I think it was either to do with Meghan's relationship with the mother, and then there was some issues with money, that it never went ahead. And apparently from what I've heard and things that have been sent to me is this child has now been adopted by another family. So there is a child, but this is not a child that now lives with Harry and Meghan. So, of course, Meghan has gone through this whole fake pregnancy. And I know that people have said that she weight gained and things like that. But like I've said a million times, when you have been in the field of actors and actresses, you know what can put weight on. You can take hormones. You can take things that can create your boobs to look bigger. You know, actors and actresses have done things for eons on how to weight gain very quickly, how to look like you're pregnant for a film role, etc. You've only got to look at the fact that, again, she was doing weird things, like she was going into a chicken coop, which is very, very dangerous for a fetus. Why would you do that? She was bending down again when she was heavily pregnant. Her bump was changing sizes again. You know, there was a lot of weirdness around the pregnancy. And again, you haven't got Harry, who, if you'd think that he's around his wife, who he's supposed to love and very protective, there's never any footage really of him helping her when she's pregnant, you know, helping her down, helping her up. Yeah, just a lot of weirdness around that. And so I think that she probably learned from the first one, because she does follow social media. So she'll be following people that would have been saying, you know, there was no weight gain, you know, that she, you know, this, you know, she was doing certain things. And so she's like, right, okay, well, I need to make sure that I do this better and differently. So she would have researched this, because she's a researcher. We know that. So she would have looked at how, and she's got the money and the means to make this look real. So then we have the fact that obviously Lili was born, and then we have the fact that she named the child Lilibet. And I don't believe this was a cute thing. I think it's very possible that the conversation that again happened was, we'd like to name the child after you. The Queen said, oh, that's lovely, thinking that it was going to be Elizabeth. And Meghan, being a narcissist and spiteful, I think she's probably named the child Lilibet publicly, because once it's out there, it's very hard to then come back and go, oh no, we made a mistake, the child's name's Elizabeth. So I think that she did that intentionally. So then we've had very little photographs of Lili, and then we get the one where she's apparently at Frogmore, because apparently then it comes out that they came over to the UK for the Jubilee. But there was no footage of them. And again, people have said to me, but are they not hiding the children? And to understand a narcissist, when a child is young, if they have a child, especially if it's a female narcissist, a daughter, a young daughter, will be an extension of them. So any attention the child gets will give attention to, say, Meghan. So she would not be hiding Lili. The only way that would potentially happen is if there was something wrong with the child and she didn't want to show this. But I don't believe it's to be that. Now, people have said this about Archie, and I will talk more about that on another video. But in this particular incident, especially given the fact that you can blur out faces and things. So if there was something wrong, say with the face of the child, and she didn't want people to see that, there'd be ways and means. And we'd still see them out and about with the child. We just wouldn't see, you know, the face of the child would be blurred. We don't see any of that. And then we had the footage at Buckingham Palace with the children at the window, and all we saw was Harry and Meghan at the window acting childlike by sticking their tongues out, getting attention. The perfect opportunity to get attention for Meghan would have been if she'd have stood at the window with Lili and Harry had been at the window with Archie. And that would have been, probably in the eyes of the media, a photo opportunity, because it would have been one of the first times we'd have seen the children. And because of the way the media behaves, it would have taken some of the limelight away, well, in their eyes. I'm not saying that we would have seen it that way, but they would have seen it. They would have done it because of that, but they didn't. They were not on the flight manifest. There was no footage of the children, apart from the weird photo that we got where she was apparently at her own birthday party at Frogmore Cottage, and their so-called photographer for her friend, Miss Anne Harriman, who they get to do their pregnancy shots and everything else. And I believe that they get him because he's in on it. He's in on it, and he probably gets paid to be in on it. So he's their photographer. So he takes this weird photograph of her where she's sitting. And I don't know about you, but I don't know any year-old toddler that sits that cross-legged with their legs under a dress without toppling over. It's just weird. It's like they've just cut off her legs. And then we've seen other photographs where on the day of that Meghan, this photograph was taken, the day before, Meghan's wearing this white coat and she's looking a lot fuller in the face. And yet the photograph that we get shown is the photograph where apparently she's standing with Miss Anne Harriman's wife and 2 children, and she's holding a child that looks like the child in the other photograph, but you can clearly see by the hairline that this is a younger version of this child. But apparently we're being led to believe this is taken the same day. And also Meghan looks a lot younger, she looks a lot slimmer. So this, what I believe, is a photoshopped picture, where it's probably a picture of Miss Anne Harriman and his wife, and then they've superimposed Meghan into this picture. And bearing in mind, he's a photographer, so he would know how to edit photographs. So he's superimposed her into this picture to make it seem that this is her. And I don't believe that for 1 second. It's probably somebody else standing next to the wife, or it's just the wife and the children, and he's done this to create the illusion that they were all there together, which I don't believe. I'm going to talk about the photograph where Lili is allegedly sitting down on the grass, because I found something, and I started studying a little bit about photo forensics. Now, I don't know enough about it to be an expert, I don't, but I've looked at a lot of editing software, and I followed some videos, and this particular website, which is quite reputable, states that when there's photo manipulation, if you look at it with certain editing tools, you can see the original photograph. Now, I'm going to put an example up here of a photograph that was taken recently by someone who said that they had met Meghan, and there was a bit of a hoo-ha about this photograph because people were saying that it was edited, people were saying that, and in all fairness, even I looked at the photograph and thought it was possibly real, because it shows someone taking the alleged photograph. Now, when I put this photograph through the editing software, what was interesting to me is it showed there had been some photo manipulation. Now, all photos to a degree get photo manipulated, whether you're using a filter, etc. So you do get some manipulation. But what you can see very clearly, and I'll put the picture up here, is that you can see that the original person, now whether this was an original photograph with Meghan, but the person has glasses. So the original photograph, the person had glasses, and for some reason they were edited out. So you can clearly see that this was an edited photograph, because you can see the glasses, and then you can see then the photograph where there is no glasses. So that shows you that the glasses have been edited out of the photograph. So that's an example of how photo manipulation can happen. Now, whether or not this is an original photograph with Meghan, I don't know. But whether or not maybe the photograph was with Meghan and she was wearing some glasses and she didn't want the glasses. So because this woman apparently is someone that is connected to Meghan. So it is very possible that she allowed this photograph to go out, but she then had it edited that she wasn't wearing glasses. I don't know. But this is just to show you how photographs can be, manipulated like that. And Meghan, we know, does do this. So one of the things that have come up is that people have said that Lili looks very much like, is it Stacey Schrober? I put the person up here, her daughter. And I've been studying these photographs of this child, and I have to be honest, there is an extreme likeness, down to the shape of the nose. And I'm going to put some photographs up side by side so you can see what I'm talking about. There are some photographs that look very, very similar. I think what they've probably done is they've slightly changed the hair color of Lili to make her look more like a redhead. But if you look in some other photographs that we've seen, like snapshots that have been taken from the docu-series, she looks blonde haired, which is the similar color to Stacey Schrober's daughter. But one of the things I thought to myself was, but Stacey Schrober's daughter has earrings. Now, okay, you can think that maybe for a photograph they've taken the earring out. But when I homed in on this photograph of this alleged Lili sitting on the grass, you can clearly see, and I will put the photograph up here, you can clearly see they have edited out an earring, or they've edited out where there's a hole where the earring would be, and you can clearly see the photo manipulation. Now, in the photographs that we're being made to show that's meant to be Lili, she's not wearing earrings, but Stacey Schrober's daughter wears earrings, and she looks very much like Lili. So I do believe that they are, in my opinion, using Stacey Schrober's daughter as part of the Lili lie, so to speak. When you look at this photograph as well, and I will show you as well the photograph manipulation, there is a huge amount of manipulation. When you're seeing the pink lines, that's showing you that from some A to B, when the line goes from one point to another, that there's photo manipulation. And there's a lot, and the more lines there are, the more photo manipulation there is, and you can clearly see. Another one as well is when you're seeing like white outlines. So when you see a picture, a normal picture, and I will try and find one and put one up here, when you see a normal picture that's not been really manipulated, there isn't really a vivid sort of white outline, whereas against a black backdrop, whereas you can clearly see with this photograph, there is a vivid white outline. So I am standing by what I've said before, in the fact that I absolutely believe that Lili is a lie. Now, I know that some people believe that they have Lili with them. I don't. And I've said this before because of the way that she works. She is a narcissist. A young child, especially one that they are wanting to present to the world as a mini Diana, would be an extension of her. It would garner her attention because it would be like, oh my gosh, look at what an amazing mother she is. Especially given her hatred towards Princess Catherine and Princess Charlotte. We've already seen snippets of that in the way that she's treated Charlotte, and also how she was in the wedding. So she would be bringing out Lili every opportunity she could to upstage Charlotte. But they're not. And the reason we're seeing it almost less and less, and we're only getting these odd pictures now, is because I think that they have less and less opportunities. Now, whether or not Stacey has decided to pull away from Meghan because they were friends. Archie, which I will talk about, this particular person here, I believe is her son was used as the Archie lookalike. And they were friends as well. And if you read this person's miscarriage story, where she says Meghan was actually quite instrumental in helping her, it reads very similar to Meghan's version. So I think Meghan possibly copied that a little bit. I think she also saw Chrissy Teigen probably garner some attention and sympathy, because unfortunately this is how sick-minded a narcissist is. It's like, well, they're getting all this attention, let me do the same thing. And I do believe that's what she did. So going back to Lili, I absolutely do believe that this is proof that they are lying. I do. And what's interesting to me is that the fact is the silence of the media. The media do not pick up on the weird photographs that we get. They do not pick up on the fact that even with Archie's hair colour, it changes all the time. His hairstyle changes. They don't pick up on the fact that you can clearly see that some of these photographs are edited. And one of the other ways to tell is if you screenshot or you try and zoom in, the picture becomes more pixelated. So if you look at a lot of the footage that comes out with Harry and Meghan, when you try to zoom in on the picture, it becomes so distorted. And given the fact that when you have photographers, they have the most extensive zoom lenses, they're crystal clear pictures. But why do we only ever get weird, grainy photographs that when you zoom in, you can't see anything? And I think that's intentional, because when they release the footage, the fake footage of the children, it appeases the fan base, because the fan base are very blinded. They don't want to, or they don't want to see the truth. They're so fearful of the truth, which is why they attack any person, YouTube channel, reporter that actually dares to speak out that can have any truth. That's why the bigger the channel, the worse it becomes in a way, because then you can possibly bring in more attention to what you're saying. I mean, I get a little bit, and I would imagine the bigger I get, the more, if people are listening to me and believing me, the more of a threat I'm going to become. I'm already a threat because they already attack my channel and they report me. I see it. But I'm small fry right now. So this is why they shut it down. And this is why they're so easy to manipulate, because they're like a cult. They just want to believe that whatever Harry and Meghan are saying is the gospel truth, which it isn't. And that's why even when they have things that literally confront the fact that they're lying, they just won't believe it. It's like, la, 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 we're not listening. And you find this a lot. You know, you do. And that's why they constantly keep an eye on social media. That's why every now and again they'll drop in a photograph of the children, because it appeases the fan base. And they just want to test the water to see what's being said. But more and more people are starting to ask questions. More and more people are saying, hang on a minute. What is going on here? You know, these children are getting older. You cannot keep this up for too much longer. People have said to me, what do I think is going to happen? And I generally, in all honesty, I generally don't know. I generally don't know how they can keep this going for too much longer, because, okay, yes, you could keep a child hidden and say that you're respecting their privacy. And if the media are not talking about it, then, you know, at the end of the day, it then is just left to you and I and other people to talk about it, which doesn't really matter, because what matters is the mainstream media. And they're not talking about it. And that does kind of beg the question, why? And that's because I think that there is something in place that they are not allowed to talk about it. I don't know. But yeah, so this is just my theory. And like I said, I will do one on Archie. But I am of the belief that, yes, this person is being used as some kind of stand-in. They look very alike. Their facial features are so similar. Why would a person do this? Money, maybe they are not even aware, because, you know, it's very difficult to prove that you're using, especially if you're manipulating the photograph to and superimposing, say, a face on top of this photograph, because even with the picture of Lili that's sitting down, she looks very similar to, but they've manipulated, I believe, the photograph, the facial structure, where they've probably superimposed a picture of Harry on top as a child. So they've doctored the picture. It's very difficult to say to somebody, well, you're using my child, because how do you prove that? I mean, when you've got pictures on social media, and this is the danger of being on the public forum, you know, you can take a picture and have someone manipulate that, and you can make it so it's not quite the same. And so it's very difficult to prove. Now, with metadata, you can. But again, it's like you've got to then get hold of, and I'm sure that this Miss Anne Harriman knows exactly how to manipulate things. And that's why she has him in his pocket, in her pocket, should I say. Because again, why have we not had Hello magazine? Anything, any established magazine who've done photo spreads on other celebrities or the royal family and their children? We have not had any of that, where we've had Harry and Meghan and the two children in a real normal setting. And it's not because they're hiding them. It's because for the fact that they want to keep their privacy, or there's something wrong. They haven't done that because you can't hide the truth. You have got to bring out, for a photo setting, you have got to bring out two children. And I do also believe that even when you have that, once you open that door, like even she could have done it, say, with Miss Anne Harriman. Once you open that door, it then opens that door for other people to start asking questions. Because if you've got a big photograph of the four of you that looks head on, not side view, slightly distorted, a cartoon version, a full-on proper photograph where you can properly zoom in and start looking at things, they don't want that. They can't have the truth exposed. So that's why I believe that they are controlling everything, even down to the Netflix docuseries. Everything is controlled by them to keep the illusion that these children are with them. But they spend more time away from their children. If these children do live with them, I feel sad for them, because they would be spending more time. And again, people are not questioning, why are they always away from their children? Why have they gone on holidays and never taken their children? Where's them going out to get a Christmas tree with their children? Where's any of that? And I'm sure that we're going to get an orchestrated photograph again. The only thing we've only ever heard Archie on a podcast which didn't show who he was. We just heard a child on a podcast, and everyone jumps in and kind of goes, oh my gosh, that's Archie. How do we know? We just heard a child. That's it. That's it. But there are people that will just believe anything without asking questions. And I don't know about you, but I like to ask questions. I don't just want to believe what is put in front of my face. And that's what I encourage on here, you know, even down to something that I might say. I absolutely do not mind people coming on here and going, oh, well, I absolutely disagree with you. Good. Okay, that's great. Wonderful. Because it means that you've got your own mind and you're thinking and looking for yourself. You know, if I'm wrong, I would happily come on here and say that I'm wrong. This is my opinion based on what I've seen, based on what I've heard, based on what I know. But like I say, you know, if it turned up that I was completely wrong, then okay. Hold my hand up and say that. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with me? Do you agree in regards to what I've shown you in regards to Lili? Do you have the same thoughts? Do you have something extra that I haven't talked about? I mean, I'm not saying that I can remember everything when I come on here and do this, do the camera. But yeah, just let me know, because I'm always interested in what you have to say. If you've liked this comment, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please think about doing so, because you will be part of the giveaways that I do in future. Don't forget that I have my Christmas giveaway at the moment. It's #Christmas and what Christmas means to you. And you also have to be subscribed to me. What else? You can, everything is in the links in my description box. You can send me a postcard, or if you want to. You can send me a Christmas card. You can email me. You can follow me on other platforms. Thank you so much also for the people that have got on board and helped my friend out who was being bullied by the cult squad. He's so blown away by, I've shown him some of the comments that have been sent, and he's so blown away and so grateful. I have put some extra links in the description box below, because people were saying that there was only Kindle versions available. We've now got a couple of other links, so you can go and buy paperback. I am sorry if it's not available in your country. I think he is working on that, but you know, as everything, it takes time. But I will let you know the more becomes available, or in other countries it's not available, I will be letting you know when that is. So next week is Christmas week, and I will be doing the live. I will be putting up in the community page when I am doing the live, where I'll be announcing the Christmas winners. So make sure that you stay tuned for that, and get in quickly. Yeah, I think that's it. So I will see you in the next video, where I will be discussing next week, probably discussing Archie and anything else that comes up in the news. And yeah, have a great weekend. I'm off to London tomorrow. I'm going to Winter Wonderland, so I'm going to be recording that, and I will be putting that on the channel next week, to show you all of London and how Christmassy it is. And I'm so excited, like a little child. I'm like a kid. I love it. I love it. I love it. So in the meantime, have a wonderful weekend, whatever you are doing, and I will speak to you next week. So take care as always. I love you. I appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. So take care. Bye-bye. Mwah.